You're listening to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast, including myself. Welcome back me to the Classic Gamers Guild podcast. I am glad to be back, as I'm sure both of you, Anna, Paul, are glad to have me back, correct? Yes?
Yes, so much so.
Yeah, definitely. Probably.
Awesome. I take that without any hint of irony or sarcasm, and totally at face value.
We need you to keep us in line, Rick.
I see. You guys held the ship perfectly fine without me. It was totally fine after copious amounts of editing. Alright, so, we are no longer asking each other how we're doing. We're just jumping right in, but at the same time, while I was gone, we did not get around to addressing any listener emails, and we actually had one this time. So, I'm going to dig into the mailbag here and get to this before we get back to our episode proper. This email comes from Rick Reynolds, who wrote into mail@classicgamersguild.com. He writes, "Hi folks, I'm a relatively new listener to the podcast, but enjoying what I've heard so far." Well, thank you very much, Rick. "I have a question I hope you can answer. I've played several games using ScumVM and am decently familiar with how to set that up. A friend recently asked if I had played the Nancy Drew graphical adventure games. I said that I hadn't, and then checked to see if they are playable in ScumVM. Reading around the ScumVM wiki, I see that these games use an engine called Nancy, and that the Nancy engine is one in a list of engines that is not built into ScumVM. They mention that 6 of the games are playable, but another couple dozen are not supported yet. My question is about the status of this Nancy engine. Is there a Nancy engine program that I can download and use to play those games? Based on what I'm reading, I have no expectation that my ScumVM client can play them right now, but they are listed in the ScumVM wiki as if they are part of the project in some way. Do you understand the relationship between the ScumVM project, the program I can play games in, and these other engines that are not built into ScumVM? Thanks, Rick Reynolds." Paul, I'm going to give this entirely to you because not only are you kind of like the emulation guru, but you're also like really in deep and tight with the ScumVM knowledge. So I'm going to pass this to you.
Yeah, I'm in deep. It's not that tight. That's not important. It's okay. So the engine, I'm digesting this here. Never been a good multitasker.
I know that was like a lot of stuff all at once, so if you want me to repeat anything, I'm here for you.
Thanks, mate.
In this one...
You mean for like anything at all, right?
In this one regard.
I got some stuff going on.
This one thing.
All right. Okay, so I'll put it this way. The Blade Runner, the game Blade Runner recently got support for ScumVM. I don't know if it was last November? Doesn't matter. Recently. And the engine for Blade Runner, I think it was called Blade, doesn't matter, again, was in the developmental builds for Scum and on their wiki and etc. Could be found, could even be downloaded from them directly for years before Blade Runner was actually supported. I think another game in the current situation with the Nancy engine, etc., I think is The Last Express, which I don't think is officially supported, but again, the engine's in there. So I'm saying all this to say that it means that some ambitious coder who is probably a huge fan of Nancy pulled the build from GitHub and worked in an engine for it, probably more than one person, of course, and got so far, but not to the point of completion. And that's kind of down to the community, right? Because ScumVM is a completely free program built by the community, etc., to a degree anyway. And so you really need people testing these games to get to the point where you can say that it's officially working and supported and bug-free. So I would imagine the best thing you could do in your case for being excited for support for Nancy games would be to start playing them. Well, I'll back up one step to go to the official website, go to downloads, go to daily builds, and download the latest developmental build, and use that. Right now it'll say 2.3 Git. Download that. That'll play the unsupported games for you. So you can just, if if you can, just breeze through them as quick as you can if you want to be helpful, or bloody take a saunter and enjoy playing them. I don't know why I'm trying to rush you through something that is entirely your decision.
We need our Nancy Drew now.
Yeah, if you could go ahead and hurry up. We were like all depending on you, mate, because
these mysteries aren't going to solve themselves.
So anyway, yeah, long story short, get the developmental one and submit bugs to them. You submit it to their bug tracker. I've done it a few times. It's fine. I'm not going to deter you. It's fine. But yeah, I guess long story short as to why is somebody got, pretty far into implementing it, but they just haven't gotten all the way. And how can we get all the way is to give them bug reports on the game so it can get support in the next, release or 5. The end. Did I do all right?
That was pretty damn good. I do have to admit.
It's more than I had.
Well, I'm dehydrated now and I've peaked. That was all the effort I had saved up for one energy.
Usually the best praise I see from you, Rick, is silence.
Yeah. Yeah, that would usually be me processing the fact that I have nothing to say that is not like an insult.
No insult. Nothing to say. Yeah, I'm quiet. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Brain good.
If I don't have anything bad to say, I don't say anything.
Right. Keeps us in check.
There's a word.
Yeah. Yeah. So, speaking of Nancy Drew, our friend Ivy Dupler, who was on our show a little while back, she actually does stream herself playing Nancy Drew games quite a bit on her Twitch. So if you want to just go over to Twitch, look up Ivy Dupler, IVYDUPLER. She does, she streams a lot of Nancy Drew, so you can always check her out. She's pretty entertaining about it. You could probably even ask her how she's running it if it's something which is unusual, because she gets them to work pretty well. So go for that. All right, so to our episode. This week we are doing game character death matches. So we have this big spinny wheel, of which I put down a bunch of community selected characters, and a few that I just put in there because I figured they should be there. Yeah, and we're not going to take individual turns. Like, it's not going to be Paul's turn, Anna's turn, my turn. We're just going to bring it up. We're going to talk about it. We can debate it until we come to a consensus.
Yeah, and the goal will be to have a definitive winner, or as much as we can agree, I guess you'd say. And yeah, so the rules for the deathmatch will be: it takes place on an American-sized football field. I made a stupid joke on Facebook. I shouldn't have. I should have saved it for this, but I'm not going to do it twice. It's not that good. And yeah, each character has their trademark thing that they carry with them. So if we come across basically adventure game characters, they're the ones that aren't going to typically have like a weapon, whatever. Then they get, if it's Roger, he gets his plunger. Bobbin from Loom would get his distaff. King Graham would get, I guess, like Cedric or a pie or whatever.
We'll determine these when they come up.
Yeah, per basis.
The one thing I want to get pedantic about is when you say a football field, is that just to imply a big wide open space with no obstacles, or can they like go into the locker room, go into the hallway, go into the parking lot, into the stands and the bleachers, up the poles, whatever you call it, goalposts?
Yeah, the metal sticks. I did worse than you did. Yeah, it's a good question. I guess. Honestly, I didn't give it too much thought. I just kind of said that and never looked back. But I would say it probably originally was for the isolation. Okay.
Factor. So there's just, you're in a blank space.
Yeah, exactly. So they can't MacGyver through the situation.
Okay. So, wide open space, that's all we were really going for.
Yeah, unless it turns out to be boring, then we can change the rules.
Then at least round 1 will be in big open space.
There you go, yeah.
Gotta start somewhere.
With the floor. All right. So spin 1. I don't know if you can actually hear that. Can you hear that?
No.
No, but listen to this. Ready? It's actually taken kind of a long time. Sorry. Okay, it landed on.
It landed on the Wizard Hero with Force Bolt spell. It was originally proposed as being a Flame Dart, but I thought Force Bolt would be more interesting. Except now I regret it because Force Bolt is useless in a big wide open space. So, damn.
I know a lot about both of them, so we're good.
Yes. And he is fighting Elmo Pug with the Nukem Dukem robot. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay. This is stunned silence there.
I'm processing.
All right, give it some time. Yeah, please. So,
you know what? I'm sorry, mate. Let me take a quick time out. I made a mistake by bringing this wheel in here because now he wants it and it's loud, so I'm gonna...
Okay.
That was
not
worth it.
All right,
fair
enough. So we have a Wizard Hero. I said Force Bolt, but again, like that was based on maybe not being in a big wide open space.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a better spell he could have?
I don't know. Force Bolt is pretty standard.
It is. So it'll just like knock around people, including a guy in a giant mech suit. All right. So how do we go about this?
How big is the robot supposed to be that he has?
Well, you've played Space Quest 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know the big robots in the end where you fight each other.
Of course. So he's in the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's the other guy?
wait, which other guy?
The not Space Quest guy, not Omo.
Oh.
The Wizard Hero from Quest for Glory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. Okay.
In other words, you. As a wizard.
Yes, with spells. With a spell. Force Bolt.
Only one. More than I have.
Wouldn't it be great to have just one spell?
Mm-hmm. Like, I wouldn't be picky. I wouldn't be like, oh, I need 6. Like, one's fine.
You get Detect.
Detect magic, so I can know where the cool shit is, but I can't have it.
Oh, wow. That's some sort of living hell.
You get Detect magic in the real world where magic doesn't exist.
Man, this thing sucks. No hotspots.
Okay. So, I don't know how we can really illustrate this. I think basically it's pretty cut and dry that Elmo Pug and a Nukem Dukem robot is just going to, like, squish the hero.
Yeah, that's a technology he never really had to encounter.
What's the one spell the hero gets?
Force Bolt.
In this scenario. Yeah. What is it?
Force Bolt.
If he can get it into the suit, it would just knock around in there, though.
Right, but does he have that good aim?
Depends. You have to look at his skills.
Away. I think if you look at it, he's like from the hero on the ground to the cockpit of the Nukem Dukem robot. He is clearly beyond like a screen length. Which means
the internet cut out a little bit when you said pit.
We're not going back. So we're not. So Elmo Pug is probably out of the effective range of that spell. So this is no contest in the slightest.
Although he's still young, right? That would give him a disadvantage on the playing field. Isn't the hero like, what, 17 or 20?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I would imagine he starts when he's like a young, eager 20-year-old and goes on from there, but or even younger.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll say he's early 20s.
If only we recently had the opportunity to find that out.
Yeah, should have asked. Well, how old's Elmo Pug? He can't be more than like 13, 14.
Yeah, I think he's 14.
Is he?
Yeah, he's not very
17?
old.
Okay, well, we'll say teenager versus 20-something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even if the spell did reach him, Anna, you said it was just going to knock around in there. Like, what do we...
Mm-hmm.
Best case scenario for him is even that close to victory?
Well, I mean, Force Bolts can be lethal.
Mm-hmm. Like 4 of them.
If, on his best day, if he could manage to get 4 of them into that suit, he's got a chance.
Yes.
Although if it's in the suit and it knocks around, maybe one of them knocking around long enough.
I think once it hits a person, does it bounce off that person and continue to do damage, or does it just like do damage to that one person and that's it?
No, it just does damage and then that's it. You're right.
Okay, so he needs to score 4 perfect shots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like his odds. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No.
Not looking good. Poor hero.
All right, so shall we say that Elmo Pug has won this one?
Shockingly.
Yeah, but his glasses did get broken. Yeah, and he lost 1 tooth.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
He did take damage.
Indeed.
Yeah.
He's got a mouse under the eye.
And also, I'm pretty sure that Nukem Dukem robots are built pretty solidly, so he won't be able to, like, force bolt open a control panel and, like, expose wiring or anything like that. I don't think it's that fragile.
Oh, what if it does cause an electricity issue? Shorts it, just due to the nature of...
It can't.
Too late now.
Too well armored. These aren't made of paper. They're made of, like, steel and robot stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's not casting lightning ball.
That's true. Yeah, force bolt. Well, isn't force bolt like a bolt of lightning? I've always thought like a bolt of energy.
It's like a ball of energy. It's just like kinetic energy or something like that. But it's not electric.
I wonder if it would activate something that ran off of electricity.
Nah.
You don't think it would?
Is this like a Thor situation, where you can touch it?
No. All right. Anyways, I think we're
Moving
done
on.
here.
Yeah, no, that was good. I think we can move along now.
All right, we are spinning. And this time we get... Okay, Keith Robinson from Police Quest 2.
Yes.
He gets to fight or not fight 100 lemmings.
Oh, this
there's
is
a
good.
good one.
Well, just being honest with the listeners up front, there's no way I'm going to allow the lemmings to win this, theoretically. Whatever that, yeah. I can't. Like, even if they should, I don't know if I can do it to Keith, but...
I don't think Keith has any capacity to fight back against them.
Yeah, like, does he win by going and taking a smoke break and accidentally taking the wrong turn and leaving the arena, and then, like, he just... That's the end of the match? I guess then he'd lose. He'd lose by forfeit, wouldn't he, at that point?
I think you're not allowed to leave the arena.
It's not like he means to. Just going for a break for a second.
It's kind of like like fight 100 B-size horses or one horse size B or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know what I don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But to keep in mind too, the lemmings they're organized.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly organized.
Yes.
So I mean, you can't just he's not going to just mow through them. Well, how small are they?
Lemming sized.
Yeah, like, because if he digs a hole, they're all just going to fall into it and keep walking back and forth in perpetuity, right?
They can dig a hole for him to fall into.
Use one of their blow-up guys.
What if Keith just, puts a cigarette out on the grass and they all fall into the hole that it made?
That is not... I don't know what cigarettes you smoke, but I want one of those.
That is not how cigarettes work. Okay.
Extra strength.
I asked you to suspend your disbelief just a little too far. Apologies.
I can believe in 100 lemmings wielding weapons and umbrellas and punching their way through walls, but I cannot believe a cigarette will burn a hole deep enough to kill a lemming.
It works if it's like a super soft sand and he pushes it way down in there. Nah, it's a stretch. I'm not going to defend this.
The super soft sand that football fields are made of?
Oh, American fields. That's right. My bad.
Bikini Beach football, not that one.
And my question is, do the lemmings have somebody being overlord, like God, over them? Or are they just making their own decisions to try to kick his ass? Because I'm imagining that wouldn't be quite as organized.
I think this is genuinely a good match. Because, I mean, he's only got, 12 rounds or so. And that's a lot of lemmings. And again, they are organized and they all have little accessories.
Well, here's the thing. You know how they always talk about the unstoppable force versus the immovable object? what we have here is the object that doesn't do anything versus the object that goes the other way. Like, they're a stalemate in how they don't do anything to each other.
That's a good point, because that brings me to, I think, my actual conclusion is Keith would have a reason to win, just being aware that he has to. The lemmings, I don't even know if they wouldn't, Keith's got more motivation, I think.
Yeah, if no one's controlling them, they're just going to wander around like morons until he shoots most of them and kills the rest in some other more graphic way.
He doesn't shoot anything, come on.
Yeah, right.
All right, let's, sorry, do we, okay, we gotta pick a winner, so are you guys going with Keith?
I'm going with Keith.
I'm not
It was
entirely
always going to be
convinced.
Keith.
I'm not entirely convinced. I think the lemmings would get him. He wouldn't do anything.
I'm trying to think of him in I mean, in
find a
the
way to push...
airplane scene, he didn't cower. He did. I mean, he wasn't useful. Don't get me wrong, but he didn't cower. He didn't run away and hide. He keithed off somewhere. But you're right. There was a horrible argument.
Yeah, no, he does not do things, and he can't even evade them because he's he needs a smoke break. He has very low cardio capacity.
Gets a few steps away, and he's like, "Come on, guys, I just need another smoke. Just hold on. Get to this fight in a minute, man."
Yeah, it didn't take years of chain smoking into consideration.
And 100 of them. That's a fair amount.
Well, here's what I need help with real quick. I mentioned the size thing, but is it lemmings, real lemmings to a assumedly real size Keith? Like lemming to human, is that the size ratio, or are we doing pixel to pixel? Because the pixel lemmings are super tiny.
Yeah, I think that if you were to actually compare them, they would probably amount to the same proportion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is how perception works, huh?
The only way
right.
we can kind of guess that maybe it would be different than just them being the size of a lemming is if we look at some of the backgrounds and kind of figure that maybe lemmings are considerably larger in the game. Because they go into tents, which means that they could be up to human size.
I always pictured them being kind of like upper thigh height, in the game.
Maybe, but yeah, we're just going with rodent size.
Yeah, I always assumed like shoe size.
I figured Reepicheep in Narnia, larger than your typical lemming, but smaller than a human.
That's a very large gap variable.
Like the size of a 3-year-old child.
This is important for the outcome. So, are we doing? Okay, I'll put it this way: if we do human-sized Keith, I don't know, 5'10",
a Keith-sized Keith, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, I can't explain it, but I somehow know you understand. If it's a human to an actual lemming, then according to quick internet whatever, lemmings are 4 to 5.5 inches, so 115 millimeters in length, and about an inch tall. So they're really small.
Yeah, there's 100 of them.
Mm-hmm.
But 4 inches.
Yeah, and each one has the capacity to punch through walls.
Oh.
They do dig freaking fast, too.
I didn't know you had an ace in your sleeve with the hole punching thing. Jeez. Could have ended this a while ago.
I did bring it up
If you go into, later lemmings, there's, the fire-breathing lemming, wasn't there?
Oh, yeah, later on, they have, bazookas and stuff. But
exactly.
We'll ignore that and just stick with, Lemmings 1.
Yeah, if they each have Spider-Man strength, then this is...
All right, here we go. How about this? There's 100 lemmings. All but one of them, so 99 lemmings, will cling and attach to Keith and then nuke and explode.
Ooh.
Wow. Okay.
I don't think he would survive that.
Those honeybees that swarm the Japanese hornets and just buzzed until they die? Yeah. That,
overheat them.
But explode.
Damn.
Well, wait, if they all explode, aren't they dead too?
I said 99 of them.
There's one left.
Mm-hmm.
Cover the bases, well played.
Was there a thing at the beginning of the match that said how many lemmings had to win for us to win?
Not as of yet.
Okay. Because you'd be like,
whole point of there being 100 of them is that they can take a few losses.
But like, what level would let you win with 1%?
The intro? I don't know.
So
Fine.
maybe you'd have to like...
Fine, 50 of them will attach to him and explode. I'm pretty sure that'll still...
Oh, good point, yeah.
Yeah, okay, you win on that. I don't have a comeback for that one.
All right. Lemmings have defeated Keith Robinson.
Oh, man.
Really tried.
There were 100 of them. That's nothing to be ashamed of. There's no shame in losing to 100 lemmings that explode on you. All right. So, spin the wheel. We have Passionate Patty. I could not think of a signature weapon for her, but I'm guessing perhaps coconuts in her bra.
That's right. Yes, to take out the pig.
Mm-hmm.
The warthog thing.
Her bra with the coconuts.
It was coconuts,
yeah, bra with
right?
coconuts in it. Yeah.
She uses it like a...
Because it can beat off a wild boar.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then she is up against Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Haha.
Which...
Is he armed with his fists, his wits, or a team?
I had a hard time deciding because part of me wanted to be cheeky and say that he is equipped with the Holy Grail, but I just decided to go with his whip.
Oh, okay. I was going to say he could be equipped with a psychic.
I don't think you get partners in this.
No. Indiana Jones has fought Nazis, so he's got that on him.
Yeah. So we have to basically determine if Passionate Patty is tougher than an army of Nazis.
Yeah, it's not looking good for her because, I mean, I don't think it's like, it'll be a fight, you know?
Will it?
I'm sure
I don't think they'll be fighting. Do you know Indiana Jones and Passionate Patty?
Yeah. Is he gonna, like, does he even beat on chicks other than, like, in a different way?
I think the river, nice. I think the river segment of the game gave her, a little bit of an edge. You know, she had to kill the pig with her bra thing, and I'm just saying, even if she only manages to barely scratch his face while she's going down, she's gonna try.
Well, she's what?
Oh, she'll go down all right.
Oh man. I fear that's knocked me off concentration.
I believe she's going to win by a different
is,
tactic
yeah,
altogether.
No, you know what? I think she's really smart. I think she knows how to use her sexiness. I think that she can totally seduce Indiana Jones because we all know Indiana Jones is not anywhere close to being immune from seduction. Mm-hmm. And while his guard is down, she can smash his skull in with coconuts in a bra.
Ooh, that's a great angle. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's super plausible.
Because, I mean, I can't see him rushing in and just punching her around.
Yeah. Or he can whip her, and she'll probably like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, what kind of a weapon is that? Ooh, the right kind.
Yeah. That's not even a weapon, let's be honest. Not in this case.
Yeah, I'm with Patty.
It's literally a warning.
Yeah. Don't threaten her with a good time. All right, so I think, and, I'm full on going Patty on this one.
Yeah, yeah, because that's not a stretch at all to say that she could seduce him, and once, and it's over.
Yeah,
no, she's hot, so
absolutely. All right, next round.
It was a good twist ending.
That wasn't bad. We have Bob and Threadbare. Clearly has his distaff, and I guess we'll allow him to use any spells that can be used through the distaff, which is all of them.
Yeah.
Right.
And he is up against Mario with the Fire Flower.
Nice one. Okay.
Very cool.
I know for our listeners, Loom is like, the game, like Bob and Threadbare, you can't ever say anything bad about him, but Mario can just like snap out those fireballs, and Bobbin has to like sing out chords in order for his distaff to like buzz for a bit before an effect takes place.
Ooh, that's a good point, because I was going to say he could just like, I don't know, cast sleep
Oh, he can cast
But
Rend.
does he have... Well, yeah, but I mean, does he have time?
Yeah, I know, that's the problem.
You bring up a good point.
Yes. He can do it even faster than Mario can. All he's got to do is take his hood off.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's a shoo-in. That's the correct answer.
Like first round knockout.
Yes.
Wow.
I forgot all about that. I was focusing on the distaff and the spells, but you do bring up a good point. He looking on a weaver with beneath the cloak is fatal. Immediately and instantly. Yes, exactly. Good
right.
call. Good call on that one. That's there's
That's
no
a win.
further debate.
Yeah. Fight over.
And we don't have any hate mail because we allowed Bobbin to win. So
Yeah.
everyone wins.
Except for Mario, who definitely does not win.
Yeah, no. But Luigi wins.
Yeah.
So
He's got Princess Peach on his shoulder crying right now.
Say, yeah, custody of Princess Peach. Yeah.
We all know that she wants to be with Bowser.
So bad. I follow him everywhere, and freaking Mario keeps kidnapping me.
Dragging her back, yeah. Come
What
back
the hell,
home,
man?
young lady.
You and your creepy brother, like, go away.
Okay. So we got Guybrush Threepwood, who is equipped with both his sword and his insults. Let's see if that plays any factor when he goes up against the Avatar of Virtue with the black sword.
Okay, so yeah, he's going to need his actual sword. I don't think hurting feelings is on the table.
Okay,
for
now
Guybrush.
I'm going to say this. For anyone who thinks that the Avatar can use the black sword and just use the death, because for those of you who don't know, the black sword, you can talk to it because it's possessed by a demon. You can choose instant death on any target. The black sword is not interested in lesser enemies. So I'm not saying that to put down Guybrush. I'm just saying that the sword would not consider Guybrush worthy of instant death. So the Avatar does have to actually fight him and not just call upon the demon.
Interesting.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. I mean, how do you win against somebody who's good at treasure huntery?
Well, I'll tell you.
That's going to be a tricky one.
See,
And I mean, Guybrush could just dance pattern right out of the way, right?
well, here's the thing. See, the way fighting works in Monkey Island, and let me make this absolutely clear. I love Ultima more than I like Monkey Island. All right, I want to make that absolutely clear before I get into this.
Mm-hmm.
But the way fighting works in Monkey Island is that you tell a joke, and if the person is not able to retaliate that joke with a comeback, then the person is too distracted to fight. So Guybrush will be like, you fight like a dairy farmer, and Avatar will be like, job, and that just won't work. Like,
No,
Avatar has
exactly.
no answers for Guybrush.
Nothing.
Literally.
They
What
just be
if-
like,
okay.
bye.
So that's bringing Avatar to his world. What if we brought Guybrush to Avatar's world?
Oh, then it's a slaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so it's kind of.
Yeah.
Is there a way
Because
to make 'em
Avatar's
meet in
got
the
all
middle?
sorts of things going on that Guybrush doesn't have. Like, God, he meditates, right? Guybrush, I don't think he would even know what meditation is.
Has Guybrush ever? I'm trying to recall now. I've not played the third, past the second one. I've only played the first two. I know I need to play the third one. But
Depends who you ask.
I'm trying
The
to
third
think.
one's
Yeah,
good.
true. I'm gonna play it for the clouds. They're amazing. But I'm trying to recall if I've ever seen Guybrush, use a sword without being jokey. Like, can he actually even
right.
sword fight? Like if we put them, kind of forget about whose world they're in and just put them in our world on a football field and say, you're both holding a sword, go.
Mm-hmm.
It would probably be Avatar. I'm just trying to think if I could back Guybrush up at all by thinking of a single time that he,
Maybe,
came in handy.
if he brought up his ultimate, like, voodoo root beer move or something. That'd be his only hope. And I don't think it would work on anybody who wasn't, like, a ghost pirate. So.
Well, I will say this about the Avatar. He uses, like, especially if he uses the black sword, it's like this big broadsword, right? So he would be fighting pretty hack and slashy without much finesse, right? It's basically battle time. It's not fencing. Whereas if we were to take Guybrush into our world, we can pretty much safely compare him to Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean, who is like a skilled swordsman.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. The Avatar, the quest for the Avatar is forever. So he's just going to keep going until he does win. Mm-hmm. Like, no matter what. So
I guess the question is, can Avatar with just swinging a broadsword versus Guybrush with like actual fencing skill?
Yeah, because Guybrush can't die very easily. Get it?
Ah, right.
You gotta be held underwater for...
He's not underwater or anything. Yeah.
Because he is in LucasArts, he is effectively invulnerable.
Exactly, like... automatic.
But the Avatar doesn't die either, very much. He always gets brought back.
Yeah.
He gets better from death.
So, my thing is, I'm not even convinced that... Like, I think Guybrush would be more of Johnny Depp's character than Will Turner.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see him being like a skilled fenceman.
Oh. I always took him to be like kind of. I always took them to both be kind of different aspects of him. But I always kind of pictured him a little bit more Will Turner than Keith Richards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
In my head, I see it as Guybrush being the loser.
Being the loser.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I would like the Avatar to win this. I'm just not sure how much... Like I said, if we do kind of take it as his weapon is the sword and insults, that kind of implies that the insults are the weapon.
And will they work without being reciprocated, like you say?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, doesn't that render them ineffective altogether without the other half? Do they need half to work?
That's why I wonder if it should be significant that the insults are a major mechanic in the fight. Because if so, then the Avatar cannot win, because it's just sort of like, name. And that's all you can say to anything.
I don't think with the previous ones we've really been bringing their world mechanics into it. It's been more just like, you're on a field, kill.
Yes, there is that, but like I said, Guybrush's weapon is his sword and insults, so we can possibly...
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
It's inherently with it, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that draws a line right down the center, because it's like, if that is an effective blow to his enemy's health, then in this case the enemy... Well...
All right. Well, in this case, what happens...
What can Avatar do in between insults? Like, can he one strike kill him? Because then he can just take an insult and then kill him.
He possibly could. The Black Sword is incredibly powerful. Mm-hmm. But I'm just going to say that Avatar just casts Armageddon and everything is destroyed, so...
Win.
Yeah. And lose.
Yeah.
And lose.
There's a real lesson to be learned.
Yeah, but he'll come back, so...
Yeah. Like, Avatar will be the last man standing, incredibly literally.
Maybe they both win because Avatar gets regenerated and Guybrush wakes up in a theme park. So it just doesn't matter.
Win-win.
Okay, well, we'll call this a tie then.
Yeah, fair enough.
Whether they both die or they both live, it's basically a tie. Mm-hmm. Although we did say we would have a definitive winner.
Oh shit. I still say Avatar.
Can one insult kill Avatar?
No.
So it's got to be Avatar. I don't think Guybrush he's only going to get one insult in before Avatar strikes a blow. Okay, and I don't think he's going to survive any strike.
All right.
No.
All right, we'll go with that. I'm happy with that.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have Rosella with the Cupid bow.
That's adorable.
Yeah, Cupid doesn't think so.
We'll see what happens with this. And she is up against Laura Bow with the dagger of Amun-Ra.
Rosella with the bow against Laura Bow with the dagger.
Yes. So, before Laura Bow can get anywhere within dagger range, Rosella hits her with an arrow from the Cupid bow, which makes Laura Bow fall in love with Rosella, and the winner is everybody.
Yes, the people watching.
Wow.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I mean, Or I'll watch. Either way.
Yeah, that gave me a lot to work with. Thank you. Well, I would say to make it interesting, first thing I'll say is Rosella is probably pretty shit with a bow and arrow. She's real new to it. You know, she just found the thing. So I don't know if she's going to get the first blow in.
She's hit everything that she's ever aimed at.
Yeah, but
unicorns are big.
You know, now she's just due to not hit something.
By the statistical laws of averages.
I think Laura Bow doesn't do a lot. She's just gonna start taking notes. Oh, Rosella's here. Oh, she apparently has a bow and arrow. She'll just write down all the details until she dies.
But she'll very well catalog everything that happened.
Exactly, all the way right up until the end. Winner. She'll
be like, the killer was Rosella.
I like them both so much. It's hard to do this without bias, right? Because I can't kill Laura Bow. So the brain starts working immediately in a non-biased direction. I
think that Rosella will charm Laura Bow with the Cupid arrows, convince Laura Bow to give her the dagger, and if Rosella is so inclined, she can then kill Laura Bow with the dagger.
Yeah.
It's same principle as Passionate Patty versus Indiana Jones.
Yeah. Love. What's love got to do with it? Everything, guys. Everything.
Love conquers all and slaughters them horrendously.
Oh God, yes. It's so true. All right.
Yeah. No, yeah, she wins. She's got the far away weapon. You know, I don't know what a term for that is.
Weapon.
But thanks. There
Play
we go.
an RPG for once. For crying out loud.
Is that how everyone knows all this stuff and I don't?
Yes.
All right, so we got King Graham with pie, and he's up against...
Wait, did you have it randomized for whether he gets pie or Cedric?
No, I just put the pie.
Oh, okay.
And he is up against Les Manly. And Les Manly has... I didn't pick any item because I couldn't think of one when I was putting him in, but I guess he has hopes and dreams or something.
Somebody else's dreams. Okay. It's not even his own fucking dreams.
Yeah.
This is going to be a jokey death for whoever goes down.
Well, Graham's a third-gen knight, so, let's start there.
All right, well, let's put it this way. King Graham is ripped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Les Manly...
Yeah, he's virtuous. He's got a good education. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me stop so you can talk about Les for a minute.
Les Manly.
I'm not even done myself. You could grate cheese on Graham's abs. They're
you could grate cheese on his biceps.
Mm-hmm.
Les Manly's name is Les Manly. Mm. That means they are so confident in his ability to be less manly than anyone that they made it his name.
Yeah.
So
if anyone could, if any human could die from a pie in a fight, it's going to be him.
Yeah. I mean, there is that. And I know manliness isn't always the big thing. You know, some people who like sensitive and all that, but we're talking about a fight. And if you're this scrawny pencil neck geek, probably not going to beat King Graham in a fight.
Plus, he's kind of like a knockoff Sierra character in the first place, so...
Yeah, so he dies a generic death.
Yeah.
He already started as the, what did we say? He was the Mac and Me of Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's move on from this. I think we know what happens here. All right, we're going to do one more. All right. Well, Roger Wilco with Plunger is up against Ryu from Street Fighter.
Ah.
Poor Roger.
Yeah. How does Roger win?
Well, okay, let's be honest. I was thinking about this the other day. Roger's primary characteristic is luck. So is there any way he can fluke out of this? I'm finding it very hard to believe because Ryu is a very disciplined fighter.
Oh, is his name actually Ryu? My whole life I've been calling him Ryu.
Everyone does, but it's Ryu because Ryu is an actual name that actually exists.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Everyone called him Ryu because it was at a time when no one knew the name Ryu.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't enough interneting going around to correct.
No. Back in the days of the Dynamics.
Yeah, so as far as luck for Roger, I mean, he would need not a time cop. That wouldn't help the cause. He would need a time ripper or like his son to rip through time and appear there with like a weapon for him or something.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a stretch.
Or Stellar just pops in from out of nowhere and then just does stuff.
Yeah. Because you're looking at massive amounts of self-discipline versus the exact opposite.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think you can really count on Ryu to make a mistake and lose.
Mm-mm.
You would have to beat him at fighting.
Mm-hmm. Well...
It's a shame because arguably all he'd really need is a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ryu has fireballs. I mean, I guess fireballs are no match for a pistol, but I mean, he does have projectile weapons or attacks, I should say.
Yeah, and his like hurricane kick going kick some butt.
Mm-hmm. Which again, probably of very little use against a pistol. If Roger had the pulse gun from Space Quest 1.
Mm-hmm. But we've got a plunger. We're working with a plunger here.
Unfortunately, that is what we were assigned.
So, Duke it!
Really trying to get Roger out of the situation.
Has Roger ever fought? Because I'm cycling through the games in my head, and I don't think he's ever really done anything to actually fight. I guess he kind of had a shoving match at the end of Space Quest 4.
He's better at evading than fighting.
Yeah. I don't think you can beat Ryu in a shoving match.
No, you can't get close to him.
There's that.
Yeah, if he doesn't have a projectile and he can't get close to him, or he's
not getting rescued.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shit out
There's
of
no
luck.
way.
Throw the plunger.
Yeah. Throw the match, man, if he has any chance of surviving.
All right,
I
well...
feel like Roger had better luck with a banana peel than a plunger. You know, just something to...
Yes.
Something for the stroke of jokey luck.
Yeah, pretty much. Or to get beamed out of there at the last second. That happens.
Yeah. All right. Well, before we wrap up, I do want to really quickly go over... Jude Gore had a great one on the Facebook page, which was Indiana Jones. I know we've done him versus Skybrush Threepwood. I know we've done him, but I just wanted to go over really quick with you guys to get your opinion because I thought that's a kind of a really cool matchup. It seems crazy even.
Yeah.
No insults. The insults don't count, but in this case they don't really need to because I would say he's at least just good enough with the sword, considering Indy doesn't have one.
But here's the thing. Are we going with sword versus whip? Like, are we? Because remember the last time, or remember one of the times at least when Indiana Jones went up against a guy with a sword.
Yeah, right. It didn't go well.
Well, Guybrush isn't that guy. that's the good news.
He'd be too. He would. Yeah, he wouldn't be swinging the sword around. He'd be like, "You fight like a dairy farmer." Bam.
Mm-hmm.
I
wrangle
maybe
you like a cow.
maybe this is literally just me kind of thing, but I have a tendency to look at Guybrush as Roger to a degree for argument's sake. So I kind of imagine more Roger Wilco with the sword, which is not going to be super threatening. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be at the level where it's dangerous, but it doesn't make sword trump whip because of who's yielding the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I am fully on board with Indiana Jones winning this one.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
All right then. So.
Yep.
Okay. Well.
That was agreed upon.
Well, I think we've covered that. I think that's about it for this round of video game character deathmatch. Thank you all for joining us. So if you have any ideas for, really cool death matches, you can write us either by email at mail@classicgamersguild.com, or you can come find us on Facebook. We have a page, we have a group. You can tweet us over on Twitter at the CG Guild. If you'd like to follow the show for updates, we do update the Instagram when our episodes go live, or at least within the same day, at least. Follow us there at CGG Podcast. If you'd like to support the show, support is always really good and helps us out a lot. You can find us on Patreon. Just look up the Classic Gamers Guild. Speaking of which, just wanted to say thank you very much to Chad Armstrong, who is a new donor. Just wanted to say thank you very much. We appreciate the support. And thank you to all of our Patreon supporters, especially those in our extra special thanks tier. That would be Mark Fillion and Jay Holmes. Thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate your contributions. Speaking of Mark Fillion, it's been a while since we mentioned this, but Mark is one of the devs behind a game that we are hotly looking forward to, the Chinatown Detective Agency.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Do you guys want to talk about this one for a bit? Because there's so much to shower praise on this, and it's not even out yet.
Yeah, I'm personally really excited. The art is gorgeous. Like it's like if I could custom order a game, this would be one.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and it's a great mix of like a game that you're playing, but you involve a little bit of the real world. It's kind of an adventure game, beautiful locations. I loved it.
Yeah, elements of Carmen Sandiego, and you got to actually like do research, like real research. Like pull up your phone and Google. Like that's actually part of the puzzles. You're going to have to know stuff in the world.
Yeah, makes me like 10 times more excited for it too.
And it's really cool because, like I've mentioned before, I like pixel art, but I don't like all pixel art. I do think that there are some pixel art that they're not all created equal. Some are stronger than others. And I really think that Chinatown Detective Agency is just like, I know graphics shouldn't mean that much, but seriously, like just look up the screenshots, download
it's when
their
they're
prologue.
This good.
It's when it's this good that it's just like, you can't ignore it.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Rick, about Carmen Sandiego. If you play it, you're going to see it, the familiarities. It's going to take you right back, but it's also going to like project you into the future. It's such a cool mindfuck. It's a great game.
And shout out to Ricardo Yukum. I hope I'm saying that right, but he's the one behind the pixel art in this game, and I've long admired his work, so I was really excited to see that he was doing this game with Mark. And yeah, it's just a match made in heaven, and
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo's just ridiculously talented. Check out his page. I know he's got one for his art on at least Facebook.
Yeah. You know what? I would even say like it's almost kind of an injustice just to even say this is pixel art. Like this is just good art. Like it's not good for pixel art. This is just good art. Like it just looks good.
And since we're doing shout outs, one more to Yak Wax Lips, amazing YouTube channel. If you're an adventure game fan, go check it out. It's sincerely one of the best things to happen to adventure games in a while. Like it helps me maintain the feeling that there's still new things to talk about and to do, because every week there's a video on adventure game news, and he does playthrough. He does the whole bloody bit, but I'm just saying the way he presents up and coming games and demos and really pushes and promotes indie artists that are working on, or indie developers that are working on games right now is amazing. And you know, it's a really nice way to stay connected with the little adventure game community, because he lets you know what's going on every week as far as announcements and demos and things like that. So it's a really good YouTube channel, buddy. Check it out. Yak Wax Lips.
All right. And with that, I am out of things to say.
Yeah, so don't do murders.
Good night, y'all.